In this video, we'll be talking about one of our main services for publishers, Edelweiss Catalog Services. It is full of catalog management features and sales rep tools, and Edelweiss itself is really the main tool for the book industry to sell, discover, and order titles. And 100% of major publishers use it. It's definitely how the majority of booksellers are used to working with publishers. One of the first things you might want to do when you get started with catalog services is to customize your publisher page. You can access that by clicking into Publishers here and then selecting your publisher. And that'll take you into this view where you can see your banner, your logo, and any catalogs that you've created. So I've already uploaded a banner and a logo for this demo, but to do that, you'll click into your account here, go to your administration page, and then select Publisher Branding. And this is where you would upload a banner, upload your logo, and if you have any imprints, you could upload logos for them as well. So that's a really important thing to do to give your page a complete look. Another really great thing is to create information pages. Typically that is information about your company, ordering information, things like that. So I've created just a simple information page here. The next step when you're just starting out will be catalog creation, of course. Many publishers create seasonal catalogs, so in my examples I've created a summer 2022 and fall 2023 catalog. Creating a catalog is really as simple as naming it, choosing its status, visibility, and market, and dropping a list of ISBNs in. If we're receiving Onyx data from you, which will be discussed during your onboarding, the ISBNs you add will populate with data already, but if for any reason you need to, you can also edit title data manually. So I will go back here to the catalogs I've already created, and just to note, they're not showing up here under my publishers because this here is more of a public view and my catalogs are currently set to be inactive and internal, so they won't show up here yet because I'm still working on them. So to get back to those, I'll just go to my publisher page and open up one of these catalogs. So as you can see, I've added 5 titles to this catalog. If I needed to add more, take any out, or reorder them, I can do that here in this window. And as for manually editing any title data, you'll see this little tools icon associated with any titles in your catalogs, and you can click that if you need to manually update any title data. So there's a lot here that you can either choose to include or not. You can upload interior images, add contributors, prices, categories, comp titles. And again, this information will either come to us through an Onyx feed that you send, or you can input some of this manually. There's some basic customization I should mention with catalogs as well. So you can upload a cover display for each catalog, import a PDF version that users can download, reorder the titles as we talked about, and more. You'll notice a title here with a banner image. This is just a demo banner, so it isn't actually relevant to the title, but the point is that once you have catalog services, you'll also be eligible for promotional opportunities like this if there's a title you want to draw extra attention to. We have quite a few paid advertising options, and those are accessed with this little promote icon here. So on any of your titles, you'll see that, and you'll see all of these different advertising options that you can read more about and reserve. Since Edelweiss is primarily a tool to use in your sales practices, we'll show you a little bit more about how you might work with your bookstore accounts in Edelweiss. So first, your sales reps will definitely want to add any of their contacts here. And that will enable them to share markups, which we'll go into in just a moment, with their contacts. So a markup is simply a marked up version of a catalog. You can create many markups on the same catalog for different accounts if needed, or reuse the same markup, just depending on what's appropriate for who you're working with. So you'll click here, this is your markup toolbar. You'll open this up to create a new markup. And I've already created one here, my demo markup, and have already added notes to a couple of titles. The point is to add information that I want to communicate with my account. So common information to add here is print run, author residence, just your impression of the book, possibly an endorsement or quote. It's all about including your insider knowledge that will help your accounts with their ordering decisions. We won't go too deep into all this since this is all covered in our sales rep training that would be available to you as well, but it's also possible to add tags, set a priority, things like that, and those would all be included in the markup that you would share with an account. So to share a markup, we would click into the share button here and decide who we want to share it with. This would just show me all of my contacts. So I'm going to click into my demo buyer account. So I have shared that, and then I'll show you what the buyer would see on their end. Okay, so because that markup has been shared with me, I see it here in my shared with you section. I can click into it. This lets me know a markup has been shared. And then I see those markup notes here. Okay, back in my publisher account, one thing to note here is that if you have very large catalogs, you may want to create collections for your buyers. Collections are just basically private catalogs that are only visible to the people you share them with, and you can create markups on them just as you would a catalog. And it is the same process as well. So on your catalogs page, you'll see a create collection button, and you'll just name it and create and add titles. So you can do that again just by putting in the ISBNs, or in your existing catalogs, you can use this other actions menu to create a collection. So I want to select this title and drop them into a collection. So I've created one just to show you what a collection would look like. It's going to look just like a catalog. And again, I'll have this markup bar. So if I wanted to create a markup on this specific collection and share that with my buyer, I would just follow the same process of creating a markup. I can put my notes in right here, tags, priority, and use that same method to share. If one of your accounts has received a markup from you, they might be ready to create an order. They can do that in their Edelweiss account and can then share that order back with you, and you would find those here in your active orders. And you'll export that order and handle it within your own ordering system and fulfill it using whatever your normal process is. It's really important to note that sharing collections of titles, and even better, marked up collections or catalogs of titles, is one of the best ways you can use your catalog services subscription. Of course, your publisher page and catalogs will be accessible to anyone on Edelweiss, but for the most part, outreach to accounts will originate with you. There are a lot of ways to get more eyes on your titles with review copies and promotional opportunities, though, so we won't go into detail about that now, but we're always happy to talk through those options with you. So to sum it up, Edelweiss does a lot, but hopefully you've learned a bit about what you might do with your catalog services subscription. And if you have any questions, our team is available at support@abovethetreeline.com.